Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuffs here. And we're attracted to beers in a few different ways. Beers we've had previously. We enjoy them. We like them. We pick them up. Our regulars. Certain breweries. Certain breweries we're like, okay, I like when this brewery comes out with beers. I will try that. Then there's just pure aesthetics. Other half. It's a brewery we dig. We buy their stuff. We don't review a ton. Black cans. I am a sucker for black cans. Especially in IPAs because it's so contrasting. You see the black can a lot when you're dealing with stouts and things like that. But anytime you get just a black can and gold, throwing that little purple hotness, you kind of got me sold. So this is like a $20 4-pack of Other Half beer. Wouldn't necessarily purchase that, but the style got me. Other Half makes great beers. Let's dive into it. This is their Southernhopalistic double dry hopped India Pale Ale. Now, this be a brewed by Other Half, Brooklyn, New York. Right? It says Brooklyn, New York. On the bottom, it has a date of 11/29/22, as you can see there. So that puts it just over a month old, being the 5th of January today. And story time on this sucker is it's a Motueka Nelson Sauvin Waiiti hopped, 7.4%. Hazy IPA brewed with hand-selected blend of hops, giving notes of tropical fruits, lime, zest, and gooseberry. Say what, son? The best of the Southern Hemisphere hops. Okay. My wife asked me to do a favor. I should get back to her. Give me 1 second. Let's give this a pour so y'all can see how this sucker pours out, and I will answer her while you can watch this kind of float over there. Yeah, it looks pretty damn nice. A little bit darker than what I thought it would be. There we go. Live and real-time answers. Label-wise, we've already talked about this. I dig that. This is the color combination. You got that kind of Boogie Nights style neon lighting popping out in the background. It's kind of like Dirk Diggler-y. It's kind of cracking. It's so bright and fantastic. Gold background. This dude is a fan. Beer-wise, did that come through? She must. Oh, I replied to Keith instead. Keith, when you watch this. That's Keith actually writing me back in real time. Wrong person. Yeah, looks all the part of the hazy. This is the worst beer review ever, by the way. Yeah, big old rich hazy. But it doesn't have that heavy core density to it that you see a lot of times with these beers that come off heavy. The oversaturated, super hop beers. It actually has this lightness to it. There's a bit of just barely off-white head. I'm talking done and done here. Nose. Yeah. It definitely has this southern ranky vibe to it. It comes off as this, like, it is these, it's not scalliony onion, but it wants to be that. Like a lot of these, the Motueka more specifically, but a lot of these southern hops tend to have this nice oniony, garlicky thing to them when they're originally cultivated. They're starting to breathe that out of there. But I think you're going with these ultra southern hemisphere hops. It just can't beat that out of it, completely. So you're getting this nice kind of soft, oniony, ranky thing going on. It really is there with this nice sweetened kind of orange, mango, orange, tropical fruit. It's not kiwi. I'm probably like the dictionary of tropical fruits to really define it, but it has this kind of nice sweet citrus, sweet tropical fruit without being overly sweet kind of fruitiness to it. Nothing overly impactful here. Nothing's like bursting at the seams, but with that slightly oniony, garlicky thing kind of floating in the background, it really kind of has me all kind of hot and bothered because it's one of my favorite old school kind of flavors that you get every now and then, and I kind of hope I'm going to get in this sucker. So yeah, it's 7%. Was it 7 and change or just straight up 7? I forget. 7.4. It comes off there. Maybe nose-wise you want a little bit more impact, but it definitely smells like a Southern Hemisphere beer. Let's dive in, y'all. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're getting here, is really a showcase of that old school rankiness, but in almost like a dialed back kind of safer way, because you're getting that garlic, you're getting that onion, you're getting that little bit of tomato stockiness. That, man, it used to be one of my favorite things to call on a beer, but I just don't say it anymore. Not because it doesn't exist, not because I don't want to talk about it. It just doesn't really exist. They're breeding that filth out of beers, but you're getting it in this one. And now you get this nice, sultry, silky mouthfeel. Not super full, not super dense, but it's nice. It's kind of how it was when I actually first looked at the beer. You can tell there's a nice softness to it, but there's a drinkability to it. And that's how the beer kind of comes off actually in the taste itself. So silky is the word I would use here. You get that fruitiness. Again, under-ripened, maybe just close to getting ripened. Not overly sweet is what I'm trying to say, especially for the amount of bittering and rankiness you're getting on it. So you get that little tropical fruit with that little bit of sweet citrus without much of a pithy rindiness. And all that bitterness comes from that kind of garlicky, ranky portion of the show from those Southern Hemisphere hops, skirting and touching that oniony, garlicky, ranky thing that just, it's enough there and enough on the other side without overly sweet. This is a really tasty beer. Like, I have a 4-pack of this. I'm going to crush the crap out of them. And I'm kind of glad I bought it. I mean, the price point being what it is, $20, kind of, extra hop, New Zealand hopped, other hop beer. It's going to be a bit more expensive than what I typically buy or feel comfortable buying. But I like it. I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to say go rip another 4-pack of this. I personally wouldn't do that because the price point's a little bit higher than what I think it should be. But as far as what it says it's going to be, which is a Southern Hemisphere focused hop beer, it's pulling it off really, really well with the small asterisks of in today's cultivated Southern hop beer. Like I said, that kind of aggressive, ranky, weedy, garlicky thing is being bred out of these beers. They're trying to get a little bit more tropical fruity. They're trying to get a little bit more of the stuff that most people love. And while they're doing a pretty bang-up job of it, when you pile multiple Southern Hemisphere hops that typically all carry that trait, it's going to be really hard to get rid of it across the board. And that's the reason why I like this beer. So they're trying to get rid of that. I dig it. It's kind of like Cat Pee and Simcoe. They're trying to get rid of it, but if you do an all Simcoe beer, you're going to get a little of it. Can't take it all out, I don't think. At least not this quickly. So it's a really tasty beer. One for the bittering lovers, let's put it that way. You love new school haze. You love the old school kind of ranky. This one's going to kind of tickle your fancy. Yeah. Really delicious. Mount Rushmore status. You know what? As a hopped up IPA, is this a Mount Rushmore status beer for me? It's worthy. I don't know if it's up there, but it's worthy. If we go, is it one that, if we kind of pigeonhole it in a more funky, ranky-dink realm, it's probably up there, but it's a very, very tasty beer. Let's put it that way. No qualms paying what I paid for it. Again, wouldn't go back to the well much, but there. Value, like I said, don't talk about it much, but I already mentioned, might as well mention it again, $20. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like the ranky-dinks. Haven't said that one in a while. Maybe we'll bring that one back. Other half. Have you been to the brewery? Have you been to the old school brewery? Have you been in the new school old school brewery? Have you been to the 45 locations they have? Have you had this beer? Have you had this version of the beer? 11/29/2022. Have you? Any thoughts on other half, this beer, any of that, put it down there. Let's have the conversation. And we'd be done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoyed a little other half right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, all.